atmosphere is being used as a physics laboratory for experiments, multiple experiments without our consent, without our knowledge. Even some of your elected officials don't even know. So some of the information that I'm giving you, they don't know anything about because there's no lobbyist educating them on this topic except to educate them to promote and do more of this type of technology.
Results that Jeremy saw underneath a powerful microscope at NASA Ames. Much more to come here on Coast. Welcome back. We're talking with filmmaker Jeremy Corbell. Before the break, Jeremy, you're telling us about how you got to know this guy that we describe as Nano Man, and soon we'll be finding out his identity. You are taken into his confidence. He shows you some of the projects he's working on, and then somewhere along the way, he shows you a vial of this stuff. He calls it utility fog. We'll let him tell the story about how he obtained it, because that's a pretty good story. And then he says what he thinks you're going to see in it, arranges for you to go to NASA Ames to have it looked at under this incredibly powerful microscope. And it turns out that what he told you was in there is in there. These nanobots, the idea that they're so small and so perfect and that they're beyond the technology of what we humans presumably can do tells you what?
That's the million-dollar question. I mean, essentially, I didn't intend on making a film about Nanoman regarding an anomalous substance. I went there to document his space drive, what he's calling his space drive. It's a very unique propulsion system. But in the middle of this, I was introduced to this mystery and picked it up. And so that's why my first film on Nanoman was this journey of going to get this stuff analyzed. What it tells us is it basically creates a much larger mystery. Now, we're not telling people where this substance was collected because we don't want to taint any future studies of it, but essentially that shouldn't matter. What is it? The proof is in the pudding. What is in the vial? So the fact that, we don't know who created this or how even it could be created with our material science tells us that it was made by a super intelligence, by somebody or some person or some organization or something with capabilities far beyond what we have here on Earth.
So I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, it's a mystery. It created a much larger mystery. We're open to any possibility, but we can't get around the fact that we're baffling everybody with which we show this to.
So is the utility fog sort of the inspiration for what you call the space drive system? The project that got you interested in meeting Nanoman in the first place?
No, it's a completely different thing. From my understanding of documenting Nanoman and the space drive, he has been working for a long time on essentially a theory of energy and gravitation and a theory of the universe, really, a four-dimensional look at electromagnetics and gravity, and essentially with the new metamaterials that have just become available to humanity. I mean, within the last 7 years, we've had huge breakthroughs. Some of these materials, they show very unique principles, very unique physics that are not found with other materials. And so this is an effect that he's seeing in the propulsion device of the space drive. So it's independent or it's separate, but I hope later tonight when we talk Nanoman, we can talk about the possibility of when all these technologies come together, what the ultimate aim could be with his propulsion technology, his material science endeavors, and his cold fusion endeavors. They paint a very amazing story of what could be possible for humanity, essentially becoming the extraterrestrials ourselves.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the space drive system, what you have seen, how it works, what's unique about it.
Okay, so I've seen major ups and downs. The one thing about Nanoman I really like filming with him is he'll build these elaborate experiments, and he will debunk his own findings very quickly if he finds any flaws. I mean, he's willing to build an elaborate sandcastle and kick it back down.